This is sealed in amber on normal and hard. In this quest, there's kind of a random sort of randomness to it, much like Invitation to Dinner. So we start off talking to this guy, and then the way I usually like to take is basically you have to find the first message. Once you find the first message, then doors will unlock and you can find the second message, and the third is always in the same place. It can be somewhere else as well, but you can get it from Mummy. Alright, so normally I go down this direction. And one thing I'm hoping will work is my Remove Disease, which applies a restoration effect, will work on the Mummy. Otherwise we'll have to find the third message the hard way. And on normal there's not much happening here. So this is the first spot it could be, is right on here. Used to be there's no enemies in here. They recently changed it to add a bunch more enemies throughout the quest. Used to be you could avoid a lot of fighting in this quest. Alright, the second, I try to avoid Rahadin because I think once he leaves some things spawn. So I try to stay as far away from him. Once he kind of notices us, he'll leave, which he hasn't done so far. But he probably will after this room. Alright, these flame skulls are skeletons, and you can see first thing they did is cast magic missile on us. So if we have shield, we're protected from a lot. But they do, they do quite a bit of damage on Reaper. The magic missile won't do much damage to us, but they're effectively arcane skeletons in a sense, with a little more limit. Okay, so this is the second place it could be. Crumbling Wish Scroll. So we find the first one, and that gives us a password, and then we need to find now the second one. The third place it could be is straight ahead on one of the other sarcophaguses. And the fourth place it will be is kind of off to a side room, which maybe we'll encounter that one in another one, so you'll know where to go. But basically it's off to the side room to our left. You take a left, and then another left to get there. Alright, so now we find the second, and now Rahadin is probably going to get up and notice us. And so again, the second message is always in the same places. Behind this door. It would be on this scroll case here if it was. And I never pick up the side necklace, but sometimes he'll leave a run the chest if he's a champion. And the second place it could be is behind this door, guarded by a few more golems. And there it is, it's right there. So that's the second scroll. And so once we have the second scroll, the third scroll is always in the same place. Oh, flame skulls spawn. We still have our shield on for a little bit. Let's get these guys quick. And watch, the floor falls out behind you there, so be careful. There, you don't want to go too far in, because the floor does go behind. My shields were off. Gotta get that back on. Have to remember that for Reaper. I don't want to mess with those things. Alright, so my jump skill is probably a little light for this next one. Probably ideally, if you run this, if you get house P buffs before you come in, you get a 20 jump. That's ideal. You could also use a jump potion. That's what I'm going to do right here. I'm going to get some... Since I didn't think about it. And then just sort of approach this gently until the floor breaks. And then once the floor breaks, you can see where it sticks out a little bit. Just sort of jump over there.
You hear a single coin fall near your feet, bounce on the floor, then roll into a crack between marble tiles.
Alright, so now I'm going to see if this works.
Turns toward you. Do I know you? He wonders aloud.
Alright, so if we cast a remove disease on him, okay, it looks like the restore works, so it's a weird thing. You have to just sort of know you cast that restore. So use your remove disease clicky to cast a restore on him, and then tell him you're trying to find the library, and he tells you the password is Maverick. So you could also go searching in rooms, but I always come here and talk to him to get the third password. Once you have the third password, you can kind of follow this over here to this door, and you'll see a secret door here with, I have true seeing, but if you don't have it, you'll be able to search for it. And then you'll get to Madame Eva. She will give us our objective. Okay, so that place, you just have to sort of know these by memory, and you could look them up in the wiki. But that place is coincidentally also where the chest is. So there's an optional that we run here. We're going to run to get this chest. The only way you get this chest is by running the optional, not by completing the quest. But what we're going to do is run the actual, in this case, you have to start the optional at least to be able to complete the quest.
This is the sarcophagus of Zulu.
So you go here, click on this sarcophagus.
You call out to him, and moments later, he arrives.
Then just kind of follow him in. And again, this is a random... The location of the scrolls are random, and then the location of the... this is random. This is actually going to complete the quest, but we're going to go ahead and run the optional.
Surely it will be useful in the struggle against Strahd.
And you have to get here close enough for the talking part to start sometimes. That's the optional, and that will give us this chest. There's some really nice items in here, a cloak and some other pretty cool things. Probably some of the most useful items for us. Alright, so I'm going to recall out. And I'm just going to pause it real quick as it's a bit of a hike back to the quest giver. Oh, this looks nice. Protection 3, Resistance 3, Con 4. I don't think we'll probably wear them, but it's a really nice bracer. I'm going to retake the quest. And then I'm going to pause it while I go get house P buffs so I can get my jump skill and can save these potions. And back in on hard, I got my house P buffs for the plus 20 jump, and it gives me everything else, so it actually will save me on buffs, because for hard I don't need my 30 resists. Oh, hireling. Probably don't need my hireling either for normal and hard, but if for nothing else, it saves me time by having the Divine Vitality, so I don't ever have to shrine. Alright, so we'll just kind of go look for the passwords. In some ways I hope it's in the last place of each place so you see where they are, even though it takes a lot longer that way. I always start you can get a blindness proc here, a blindness and some other things from here, so make sure you have your blindness spell. Or blindness removal potion rather, in case you get the blindness spell cast on you. And there it is, first place, so maybe on Elite or Reaper. That's always how it goes. It'll be in the last place on Reaper, so we'll have to fight a bunch more enemies. Let's see, is it still there? Guess not. All right, so I pretty much just, well, let me show you another second place it could be since we've already checked. Could be over here. Haven't checked here yet. And this is another possibility for the second place. So I guess we could do these in reverse order this time so that you see them. And not here. If it was here, it'd be right in the middle where those gases are. And so I'm going to go check the other two places first this time, just so you see where they are. And so you saw the area below is where two of the three places are. If you go here through a teleporter, that's the fourth place the first scroll could be. And then here's the other two places the second scroll can be here, which it's not. Find some skulls. And then the fifth place it could be the second scroll is right here. So we've kind of explored all the places it could be for the second scroll between these two quests. And it's not here. And some flame skulls are. And one mechanic of this quest is that if you leave these flame skulls, you can just run away from them. You get a message that you can't open the door because there's too many hostile enemies, or I forget the exact message, but you can't avoid fighting these. It'll make you come back if you try to avoid too many fights in this quest. All right, so now we'll go to the other two places we checked last time for the second scroll. It must be in one of those two places.
You hear a single coin fall near your feet, bounce on the floor, then roll into a crack between marble tiles. The decrepit lich turns toward you. "Do I know you?" he wonders aloud. You found the symbol of Ravenkind. Surely it will be useful in the struggle against Strahd. This is the sarcophagus of Zudul that Casimir was searching for. You call out to him, and moments later, he arrives.
And we need to talk to her and just tell her that she wants the password. Just tell her I found the password, it's Mavris. And that'll kind of kick off this end fight here for the optional. And that's the only way that you can get the chest in this quest is by running this optional. Pretty nice cloak from here. I don't know if it would become our main cloak. It probably would if we happen to get it. I think there's some good boots from here too. So that's also a possibility since we're using level 7 boots of the mire, which is nice, but we'll do better if we can. Alright, didn't get any named items, but it's not a bad axe. I think we'll just probably vendor it. pause it while I make my way back to the quest giver since it's a bit of a hike. Well, that's not a bad, cloak at all. I don't think we really need it since we have pretty good negative absorption, 60%. Acid, we get 20 with our spell, and electric absorption is good, but not, we can get that with something else useful in the prefix. Um, so acid absorption, negative resistance, that's probably actually better, but I'll probably just vendor that. And that is sealed in amber on normal and hard.